The stars stretched endlessly beyond the viewport of the human ship Endeavour. Captain Alex Morgan stood with his hands clasped behind his back, staring at the distant blue and gold world spinning slowly in orbit. It was beautiful, but it was also foreign in ways humans could barely understand. No human had ever stepped near this system. And yet here they were. "Captain," said Lieutenant Rena Shaw, the communications officer, "our sensors are picking up an unusual energy reading. It's alive, not just life forms. It's intelligence. Highly organized intelligence," Alex nodded slowly. "That explains why the planet's atmosphere is regulated artificially. They don't leave anything to chance. Keep the shields ready, Rena. I have a feeling we're about to meet our first true test." The Endeavour descended through a swirl of golden clouds, revealing structures that glimmered like crystal. The Lurians, an alien species of elegant six-limbed beings, were everywhere. They moved gracefully, their tall, slender frames gleaming with chitin-like armor. Humans had expected the aliens to be hostile, but nothing could have prepared them for the moment of first contact. A Lurian diplomat, taller than two humans stacked together, approached the landing site. Its eyes, faceted like gemstones, scanned the human crew. Alex stepped forward, hands raised in a universal gesture of peace. "I am Captain Alex Morgan of the human exploratory vessel Endeavour," he said. His voice was firm but calm. "We come in peace." The Lurian tilted its head, a movement that seemed both curious and disdainful. It spoke in a language of chimes and clicks, which Rena quickly translated using the universal comm system. "You touch what is ours. You move without permission. You are insignificant," Alex blinked. "Insignificant?" he asked. "We don't mean offense. We come to learn, not to conquer." Before the humans could react further, a sudden flurry of movement startled them. Lieutenant Jace Halpern, the ship's engineer, had stepped forward to adjust a malfunctioning scanner and accidentally brushed against the Lurian diplomat's arm. The Lurian's eyes flashed like molten metal. "You hit us!" it exclaimed, almost shrieking. "Such insolence." Alex raised his hands again. "It was an accident. I promise," but the Lurian waved a limb sharply. "Accident or not, you must prove your worth. Observe this. You shall be challenged, humans, and we shall see if your kind is as fragile as it seems." The humans exchanged nervous glances. "A challenge?" Alex repeated. "What kind of challenge?" The Lurian's voice was almost playful now, yet full of menace. "A test, to survive, to think, to endure. Only then may you leave." Before the humans could respond, they were escorted carefully but firmly to a massive arena that hovered above the planet's surface. The structure shimmered like liquid crystal, with platforms that shifted in midair. It was beautiful, terrifying, and utterly alien. "This is their idea of a test?" muttered Jace. "Apparently," Alex said. He studied the arena carefully. "But remember, we're humans. Adaptability is our strength. We'll figure this out." The Lurian test began with a simple but tricky task. The humans were placed on a floating platform suspended above a chasm filled with swirling energy currents. Across the gap was another platform with a glowing orb at its center. The instructions were clear. Retrieve the orb without falling. Rena adjusted her suit. "It looks easy, but look at the currents. One wrong step and we could be fried." Alex studied the moving platforms. "It's not just about jumping. It's timing, coordination, and observation. Watch me." With a deep breath, Alex leapt, landing precisely on the first moving platform. The humans followed, their steps careful but determined. The Lurians watched silently, their gem-like eyes narrowing in fascination. They expected humans to fail, to stumble, to fall. But Alex moved with a mix of calculation and instinct that no alien had seen before. Finally, Alex reached the orb and touched it. A pulse of energy surged through the arena, signaling the human's success. The Lurians made low, rumbling noises, part approval, part disbelief. "Interesting," the diplomat said. "You think survival is your strength? Let us see if courage follows." The second test was far more dangerous. The humans were surrounded by a field of shifting holographic walls and energy barriers. They had to navigate a maze while avoiding automated defenses that fired plasma beams at random intervals. "Great," muttered Jace. "Just a little maze with death lasers. No big deal." Rena groaned. "Don't be sarcastic, Jace. Focus," Alex nodded. "All right. Humans rely on intelligence and cooperation. Let's divide and coordinate. Rena, take left flank. Jace, cover right. I'll go center." The humans moved as a team, communicating silently through gestures and quick signals. Where a Lurian would have relied on sheer strength to blast through, the humans observed patterns, calculated timing, and used the maze itself to shield themselves. Every narrow escape left the Lurian observers more intrigued. Hours, or what felt like hours, passed. The humans endured, adapting to each new threat with creativity and persistence. They weren't the strongest, but they were clever, resilient, and surprisingly fearless. Finally, they reached the center of the maze. Alex touched a console that deactivated the defenses, signaling the end of the trial. The humans were exhausted, sweat dripping, but victorious. The Lurians remained silent for a long moment. Then the lead diplomat's voice rang out. "Remarkable. You do not fall as predicted. You endure differently. We underestimated your kind." Alex straightened, wiping his brow. "We're humans. We adapt, we survive, and we learn. That's our strength." The Lurians exchanged murmurs, their expressions shifting from judgment to cautious respect. But the test was not yet over. "You have proven agility and endurance," the diplomat said. "But the final trial is not physical. It is ingenuity. Observe the humans closely, Council. Let us see if their minds match their persistence." The humans were escorted to a third arena where the rules were less clear. A massive puzzle sprawled before them. Mechanical, logical, and moral challenges intertwined. The humans had to decide not only how to solve problems, but whom to save, how to prioritize, and how to use limited resources. Alex studied the puzzle carefully. "This is exactly what we do best. Think, decide, and act together. We can do this." As they worked, the Lurian Council observed in stunned silence. Each decision Alex and his team made was unconventional. They combined empathy with logic, creativity with pragmatism. They didn't follow the Lurian way. They followed the human way, and it worked. Hours passed, and finally the humans solved the puzzle. The Lurian Council erupted in low, resonant clicks, their version of astonishment and approval. "You survive each trial not by strength, but by unexpected methods," the diplomat said. "You are curious creatures, perhaps not insignificant after all." Alex smiled, exhausted but proud. "Humans are full of surprises. We don't always fight the way others expect. But we fight, we endure, and we learn." The diplomat inclined its head slowly, a gesture of acknowledgement. "The final trial awaits," it said. "But we now see why your kind is called unpredictable. Humans, you are worthy of observation. Prepare yourselves. The next trial will decide whether you are merely survivors, or something more." Alex glanced at his team. "Looks like the real test is just beginning. But remember this, we're humans. We don't give up. Not now. Not ever." And as the Lurian Council prepared the next challenge, the humans stood tall, ready to show the galaxy exactly why humanity was not to be underestimated. The humans stood on the floating platform above the Lurian capital, catching their breath after the trials of agility, endurance, and ingenuity. Their bodies ached and their minds spun with exhaustion, but the Lurian Council's eyes, faceted like gemstones, watched them closely. These aliens were no longer dismissive, they were curious. And curiosity, Alex knew, was the doorway to respect. The lead Lurian diplomat floated closer, its many limbs folded in a way that humans could only interpret as authority and contemplation. "Humans," it said, its chime-like voice resonating through the platform. "You endure, you adapt, you think. Yet you are still untested in the most important trial. Observe this final demonstration." Before the humans could respond, the arena shifted. The crystalline platforms dissolved, replaced by a massive structure resembling a city caught in chaos. Walls of energy flickered in and out. Floating platforms twisted and spun, holographic fires burned, and the sound of simulated distress echoed all around. Rena's eyes widened. Is this real?" "It's a simulation," Alex said quickly, scanning the environment. "But it's designed to test everything. Speed, courage, decision-making. And knowing the Lurians, it probably rewards creative solutions. Stay sharp." The humans moved forward cautiously. Almost immediately, a group of holographic Lurian civilians appeared, trapped on unstable platforms over energy currents. "Priority," Alex said firmly. "We save the innocents first. Jace, Rena, cover me. Let's go." The humans leapt from platform to platform using ropes, hooks, and quick thinking to rescue the holographic civilians. Each time, the Lurian Council murmured in astonishment. No human had ever combined physical courage, quick thinking, and moral judgment all at once in their trials. Suddenly, An energy barrier formed across their path, pulsing with lethal intensity. The humans could have attempted a brute force approach, but Alex shook his head. No, that's not our way. He scanned the environment and spotted a narrow path along the platform's edges. It was risky, but it avoided direct confrontation. We adapt. That's what humans do best. Step by careful step, they navigated the barrier. Sparks danced below, and a gust of simulated wind threatened to throw them off balance. But Alex's team moved as one, trusting each other implicitly. Halfway through the challenge, Rena noticed something. Alex, look at the consoles over there. If we redirect the energy flow, it could stabilize the platforms and create a safe path for the civilians. Brilliant, Alex said. Jace, help me with the consoles. Rena, keep the civilians calm. Working quickly, Alex and Jace rewired the energy flow. Sparks flew, lights flickered, and for a moment, the humans feared the system might collapse. But their plan worked. The platform steadied, the civilians were safe, and the humans had accomplished what no Lurian had anticipated, solving the scenario without relying on brute strength or predictable patterns. The Lurian Council remained silent for a long moment. Then the lead diplomat's voice rang out, tinged with awe. You adapt faster than anticipated. You do not simply endure, you transform circumstances to your favor. Curious creatures indeed, Alex smiled, breathing heavily. That's humans. We don't just survive. We think, we improvise, and we protect those who cannot protect themselves. The next part of the trial was psychological. Holographic projections appeared, representing complex ethical dilemmas. Who to save first, how to distribute limited resources, and which dangers to confront head-on. The Lurians observed closely, fascinated. No species had ever solved these dilemmas the way humans did, balancing empathy with efficiency, strategy with compassion. Rena made a quick decision. We can't save everyone immediately. Let's prioritize the groups under the most imminent threat, then cycle back for the others. Timing and order matter more than raw speed. Alex nodded. Agreed. Humans survive because we think ahead. We plan for every possibility, but we adjust when the unexpected comes. One by one, they resolved the dilemmas, saving every holographic civilian and neutralizing dangers with ingenuity. The council members exchanged glances. Some tilted their heads, some clicked softly in astonishment, but all were now fully engaged. The humans weren't just participants. They were teachers in a way the Lurians had never expected. Finally, the simulation ended. The holographic city vanished, leaving only the humans standing on the crystalline platform, exhausted but unbroken. The Lurian Council floated closer, their gem-like eyes wide with amazement. You humans, the lead diplomat said almost hesitantly, are remarkable. You are not simply survivors. You are a phenomenon. Your minds, your courage, your unpredictability, it is admirable. Alex wiped sweat from his brow and straightened. Thank you. We don't seek to dominate or intimidate. We simply do what we must. And when we must, we protect, we adapt, and we rise to challenges. The council was silent again, considering the humans carefully. Then the diplomat's multi-limbed form bowed slightly, a gesture of high respect. You hit us? Adorable. Observe this indeed, humans. You have shown what your species can do. We underestimated you. You are worthy of alliance, worthy of observation, and worthy of respect. Alex glanced at his team. Jace and Rena were breathing heavily, sweat dripping, but smiles of triumph spread across their faces. They had done it. Humanity had proven itself. Not through violence or domination, but through creativity, courage, and collaboration. Humans are unusual, the diplomat continued, voice almost soft now. Your species shows that strength is more than muscle, that resilience is more than endurance, that courage is more than fearlessness. You redefine the meaning of being formidable. Alex chuckled softly. We're good at that. The Lurians, long accustomed to rigid logic and predictable outcomes, were left in stunned silence. The humans had not only survived the trials, they had excelled, not by following the rules of the Lurians, but by following the human way, unpredictable, adaptable, and compassionate. Finally, the lead diplomat extended one of its many limbs. Humans, we invite you to share knowledge, to teach us your ways, and to walk among the stars not as intruders but as equals. Alex stepped forward, accepting the gesture with a firm handshake. We'll share, and we'll learn from you too. But remember, humans are humans. We never stop surprising, and we never stop reaching higher. That's our way. The council members clicked softly in acknowledgement, and the humans felt a new sense of pride swelling in their chests. They had come to an alien world, misunderstood and underestimated, and yet they had demonstrated the very essence of humanity. As the humans prepared to leave the arena, Alex looked back at the Lurian observers and said with a playful smile, "You hit us? Adorable. Now, watch humans turn the tables." The Lurians blinked in astonishment, the meaning settling slowly into their minds. Humans were not just another species. Humans were unique. Humans were unpredictable. Humans were a force of ingenuity and courage that could not be measured by strength alone. And as the Endeavor lifted off, leaving the crystalline city behind, Alex knew that this was only the beginning. Humanity had proven itself, not just to the Lurians but to the universe. And wherever challenges arose, humans would rise to meet them with ingenuity, courage, and heart. The stars stretched endlessly ahead. And humanity, once underestimated, now shone as a beacon of possibility, a species that no one could easily ignore.